Stop scrolling for a second and look at your stock portfolio. If you are like the average American investor, you probably own the S&P 500, which means you own Microsoft and you own Google. These two companies practically own the internet. They control your search, your email, your cloud, and your AI. But while everyone on Wall Street is obsessed with their quarterly earnings reports, something else is happening in the shadows, something that isn't on the front page of CNBC. These tech giants are quietly building the infrastructure for the next version of the internet. And they aren't doing it alone. They are picking winners in the crypto market. Welcome to Next Gen Finance. Today, we are going to expose the specific blockchain projects that Google and Microsoft have bet their millions on. We are not talking about rumors. We are talking about signed partnerships, cloud integrations, and direct investments. By the end of this video, you will know which coins have the backing of trillion-dollar balance sheets. Let's follow the smart money. To understand their picks, you first have to understand their game. In the early 2000s, Microsoft missed the mobile wave, and Google dominated it with Android. They learned their lesson. Neither company wants to miss Web 3, but they are approaching it differently. Microsoft is focused on the enterprise and the convergence of AI. Google is focused on data and infrastructure. They want to be the plumbers of the blockchain. Let's start with the giant in Redmond, Microsoft. Microsoft doesn't play with toys. They play with tools that power Fortune 500 companies. And their biggest bet in the blockchain space is a project called Aptos. Last year, Microsoft and Aptos Labs announced a massive partnership. Why Aptos? Because of AI. Microsoft invested heavily in OpenAI, the creators of ChatGPT. Now, they are integrating Microsoft's AI tools directly onto the Aptos blockchain. Imagine a world where you can ask an AI assistant to create a smart contract that pays my suppliers every Friday, and it just happens. That is what Aptos and Microsoft are building. Aptos Assistant, powered by Azure OpenAI. For an investor, this is a signal. Microsoft believes Aptos has the speed and architecture to handle global enterprise traffic. But that's not all. Microsoft also has a strategic partnership with Ankr. Think of Ankr as the node hosting service of crypto. If a bank like JP Morgan wants to run a blockchain node, they don't want to set up servers in their basement. They want to click a button on Microsoft Azure and have it run instantly. Ankr provides that technology on Microsoft's marketplace. And finally, a deeper cut. Microsoft's venture arm, M12, invested in a project called Space and Time. This is a decentralized data warehouse. It allows companies to run SQL queries, the standard language of databases, directly on blockchain data. Microsoft is telling us, the future is AI, plus enterprise infrastructure, plus data. Now, let's fly over to Mountain View and look at Google. Google Cloud has been incredibly aggressive. Their strategy? We will run the validators for you. One of their closest partners is Solana. Google Cloud is running a validator on the Solana network. That means Google itself is helping to secure the Solana blockchain. But they went further. They integrated Solana into BigQuery. BigQuery is Google's massive data analytics tool used by almost every major tech company. Now, developers can analyze Solana data just as easily as they analyze Google search trends. This makes Solana incredibly sticky for developers. Another major play by Google is in the real-world assets sector, or RWA. They recently partnered with Mantra Chain. Mantra is focused on bringing things like real estate and treasury bonds onto the blockchain. Google Cloud is serving as a primary validator for the Mantra network. Think about the implications. Google, one of the most trusted tech names, is validating transactions for tokenized assets. This adds a layer of legitimacy that institutions love. And we can't forget Near Protocol and Hedera Hashgraph. Google has active partnerships and grant programs with both, providing them with cloud credits and technical support. So, what do we see when we step back? These companies aren't buying Dogecoin. They aren't gambling on meme coins. They are investing in Layer 1 blockchains, infrastructure providers, and data protocols. They are betting that in 5 years, Bank of America, Nike, and maybe even the US government will need these networks to operate. If Google trusts Solana, if Microsoft trusts Aptos, Maybe it's time for your portfolio to follow the footprints of these giants. But remember, giants can make mistakes. Do you remember Google Glass or the Microsoft Zune? Technology changes fast, so always do your own research. These partnerships are not a guarantee, but they are a massive hint at where to look. Thank you for watching Next Gen Finance. In our next video, we will talk about the financial applications being built on top of this infrastructure. What happens when DeFi meets AI? The answer might surprise you. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell. See you.